What is going on, guys? I hope you're all doing well. You're watching Motion Hoops, and before we start with the video, I just want to ask you guys to please subscribe to the channel for more NBA content like this. And also, if you do enjoy this video, please be sure to leave a like. It makes a big difference in helping this channel grow, and I would greatly appreciate it. Alright, so today's video, I want to talk about the NBA awards. We are at the halfway point in this season. Well, it's not even halfway, considering it's like almost 50 games played. We're at the All-Star break, which is considered the halfway point, but we're at the break, and these awards are very interesting right now. They're very fluid, of course. Things can change in these last like 20-something games, but for this video, I want to go through what my awards are if the season ended today, what it would look like, who would win all these awards, who would be the MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, all of these awards. So I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on all those awards in this video now that we're at the break of the season. And before we start, I want to ask and I want to emphasize, this is just my opinion, so do not go after me too hard. This is very fluid. Things can change. This list is very different from last month, which is very different from last month. These things can change all the time, and it can change again next month, right? So what I have right now is just what I think is from my evaluation up until this point. So I want to get that out of the way so that we know. All right. So with that being said, let's go into it. Let's start with the Coach of the Year. Now, there are a lot of names that you can put out there. You could put out JB Bickerstaff with Cleveland. He's done a hell of a job with that team. You can put on Taylor Jenkins for the Grizzlies. That team is special, and he's had them playing really well. You could have Billy Donovan with the Bulls. You could have Eric Spoelstra for the Heat. There are a lot of really good options here, but for me, this is a no-brainer. You have to give this Coach of the Year award to Monty Williams of the Phoenix Suns. This team is special, man, and I honestly thought that he should have won it last year. I still don't know why they gave it to Tom Thibodeau over him. The Suns had such a better season, and it was such an incredible turnaround from what they've had for so long. And of course, they went to the finals last year too, but the expectations heading into this season were interesting, right? Because some people thought that they were a fluke. Some people thought that, okay, they're a dangerous team now, but how are they going to go get back? You know, people thought that their window was closed. A lot of dumb opinions, right? But this team is special, man. They have the best record in the NBA. They've only lost 10 games up until this point, and they are on pace to win over 60 games. Like, come on, man. Like, you can't deny this. This team is playing incredible basketball. They are definitely the favorites to win the championship right now, at least. I mean, it's been crazy watching this team play. They have not lost a step at all. I'd argue they've gotten better from last year. They've added some decent pieces in the offseason that haven't really, you know, they didn't do any big changes other than, you know, adding JaVale McGee. They got Bismack Biyombo too. So they got some decent pieces in the offseason, but their team is relatively the same from last year. And for them to be playing as well as they are right now is so impressive. And the thing that makes it so crazy is, since the calendar year of 2022, right, the Suns have only lost 2 games. So in the entire year of 2022, they have lost only 2 games. And that also counts the fact that they've went on a 18-game winning streak, and they were on an 11-game winning streak right before they lost to Atlanta. And after that, they hadn't lost since. So they have been winning every game they've played most of the time. You know, this team is going to be winning a 60-game season. They're going to be the #1 seed, most likely. They're going to be the clear favorites to win a title, unless something changes. You have to give the award to Monty Williams. He's done such an incredible job with that team. From the moment he got there, right? We saw the change year to year, right? And that finals run last year was even more proof of it. But this year, man, this team is scary. Very scary too, man. It's crazy how good this team is, and he's done such a good job with them. I think you have to give the award to him. All right, so for the 6th man of the year, I'm gonna go with Tyler Hero of the Miami Heat. I really can't think of any other realistic options here other than, you know, Jordan Clarkson, but the Jazz haven't really done that well up until this point either. So for me, I think you have to go with Tyler Hero. He has been very impressive this season, and it's good to watch considering the fact that his rookie year was, you know, in the bubble, and he went off in those playoffs, and people thought he was going to take another leap in year 2, but he really didn't. He regressed a lot, and, you know, people were like, okay, was he only that good because of the bubble? Was the circumstance different? What happened with him? But this year he, turned it up again, and he's playing his best in his career. And it's only year 3, but he's been playing great. He's averaging 20 points. He's averaging, what else? 4 rebounds, 4 assists. His shooting numbers are pretty much better than last year. His true shooting is up to 53%. Shooting at a higher volume, making his shots more. He's shooting, 37% off of 7 attempts a game. So, I mean, his shooting numbers are better than last year. That was the biggest part. And he's just playing better, man. His defense isn't that bad either. So, I think given the fact that he's playing as well as he is, especially after all the criticism from last year, and the fact that the Heat are the #1 seed, and this team is very scary, and his resurgence, I guess you can say, has been a really big part of it. So I think you have to give the award to Tyler Hero for 6th Man of the Year. There aren't really a lot of other competition for this award, and I think he's the clear favorite. And, if the Heat continue to play the way they are, I'll give it to him for the award for sure. All right, so most improved player. This one is tough because, to me, this is a 2-person race between Darius Garland and DeJounte Murray. Because DeJounte Murray, man, he's not getting talked about a lot, but he's having an incredible season. The Spurs are not good, but he's averaging damn near a triple-double. Like, every game I see, he's putting up like 20-something points, 11 assists, and 9 rebounds, something like that. He's basically at a near triple-double every game he's played. It's been incredible to watch. And everyone knows how underrated he is, right? And to see him finally take this leap, become an all-star, is so cool to watch, man. I'm so happy for him. But I'm going to give the award and this slight edge to Darius Garland. Why? Because I think you have to put the winning and the record into effect. This Cleveland team had no expectations heading into the season, right? They were going to continue to be a bottom feeder team, near the bottom, fighting for a lottery spot, maybe even a top 3 pick again. There wasn't really many expectations, even though they had a lot of young pieces. But Darius Garland, man, his rise, has been incredible to watch, right? He's such a fun player to watch, too. I don't even think the numbers do it justice, but, I mean, we can just read them. 20 points, 8 assists, shooting 37% from 3. His true shooting percentage is, let me check here, 58%, which is the highest in his career. He's playing incredible. He has such an awesome game that is so, aesthetically pleasing to watch. It's kind of like that Kyrie thing where you just like to watch him play. It's kind of like an art form. But his playmaking skills, the way that it jumped this year has made this Cleveland team so good, right? They're the 4th seed in the East right now. And that's primarily because of Darius Garland and another guy that I'll get to later on. But, man, he's been incredible this season. A lock for the All-Star game and a big part of this Cleveland surge to make this Cleveland team a very scary team, man. No team wants to face them in the playoffs, especially with the way that Garland has been playing. The leap he's taken this year has been awesome to watch. And, yeah, I think you just have to give it to him. Even though I would not be mad if DeJounte Murray wanted to. Yeah, I think you got to give it to Darius Garland, man. The Cavs are back in a crazy way, man. And no one expected it. So, yeah, I'll give it to him. I'll go next to Defensive Player of the Year. This one's tough because I really thought that I'd give it to Giannis. Just because, I mean, it's Giannis. There isn't really any numbers I can use to back it up. He's always been a Defensive Player of the Year type guy. And it would not surprise me if he won it again this year because he is playing great. But I think the recent surge or recent struggles with the Warriors, I'd say, have a lot to do with their defense. And with that, I think you have to give this award to Draymond Green because the reason that the Warriors surge was so crazy in the start of the season was not only was Stephen Curry going off, right? He's slipped off hard this year, right? But he was on a tear, right, to start the year. But the Warriors' defense was unbelievable too. That's why they started off so well. That's why they were winning all these games. That's why they started off as the #1 seed, right? That's why a month into the year we were all like, oh, the Warriors are the team to beat when they don't even have Klay yet. And Draymond Green gets hurt, misses a decent amount of time, and just the slip was so big. I mean, their defense just dropped off. And we can see the impact he had. And even in that game in Denver, where Monte Morris hits the buzzer beater to win the game, I think if Draymond Green was on the court on that last possession, I don't even think Monte Morris gets the shot off because the switch on Jokic wouldn't have happened, the double team. Curry would not have come up to him, and that would not have left Morris open if Draymond was there. I just think that his impact on that team defensively has been so impactful. We can see it now because of the big drop-off that we've seen. I think you have to give it to Draymond Green because when he's on that court, he is a literal game changer for the Warriors. When he's not there, we see the negative impacts it has. And when he is there, we can see how much of a difference it makes and how good this team is. So I think you have to give it to Draymond Green in that sense for Defensive Player of the Year. Now we're going to go to Rookie of the Year. We talked about the other Cleveland guy. I think you have to give this one to the other Cleveland guy too. I think it's clear right now that it's Evan Mobley. Although I love what Cade's done so far. Cade Cunningham has played very well. I think you can also talk about guys like Chris Duarte, Josh Giddey, a triple-double in the Garden. Come on, man. Josh Giddey has to be one of those favorites, right? I even put Ayo Dosunmu in there, right? What he's done with Chicago. There's so many good rookies. This draft class is so deep and so talented, right? But I think Evan Mobley gets the edge because of how consistent he's been all year, right? Because Cade has had some up and down games, right? But Evan Mobley has been relatively consistent. And again, a big part of why the Cavaliers have been so good this year. 14 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, a monster on defense just with his size and then also just his ability to just stand at the rim and be a force. Like, he's been crazy this year. And it's not a surprise to people who watched him out of college or people who just kind of scouted him and kind of got an idea of who he was, right? Because I didn't watch him in college. I didn't watch him at USC, but I know people who did. And they were saying, hey, this guy's going to be the one. Whoever gets him is going to be very lucky. They're going to get a really good big man. And, man, they did. Cleveland got one, man. They really did. He's been special all year long. He's so fun to watch, too, with his size and just how, dominant he is, man. And as a rookie, to be such a force in the interior, that is crazy. And it's cool when you have him and Jared Allen, being such a good tandem on defense. I think, man, he's been so cool this year, and I think you have to give him the Rookie of the Year. Although I would not be mad if other guys won it because there are a lot of good rookies. I just think that with the way the Cavs have been playing, how good they've been, and how impactful he's been only as a rookie, you have to give it to him. I think Evan Mobley is the Rookie of the Year up until this point. So now we've gone through everything, but now we get to the last part, which is very controversial, and that is the MVP. My last video, I talked about DeMar DeRozan, who I think should be a top 3 voter for MVP. He should be in the top 3 with what he's done. I've talked about it in my last video, and I'll leave a link for that video as well so you can check it out. But there are a lot of other candidates. Giannis, who dropped 50 the other day. Jokic, with him playing as well as he has on a team that has been riddled with injuries, right? No Jamal Murray, no Michael Porter. The roster is just not that good. But Jokic still continues to be such a dominant force on that team, man. So with all of that, those are all great candidates, right? You can even put Chris Paul or Devin Booker in there. But you cannot deny, I don't think anyone can, Joel Embiid is the MVP right now. And with the way he's playing, it's not even close. I mean, just look at the numbers he's putting up. And the crazy thing is, he was so good last year too, right? And I've already said it, right? If he didn't get injured and missed a bunch of time last year, he would have been the MVP. But, that time miss kind of hurt him, and Jokic played really well too. But he's better this year. We were all going crazy at how amazing the season was for Joel Embiid, and he's playing even better this year. 29 points. I think he's, first or second in scoring this year. 11 rebounds, 4 assists, shooting 37% from 3. His shooting numbers aren't that great, but he's averaging, 1.4 blocks a game. Joel Embiid has been unbelievable this season. And the fact that he's been this good with all of the drama that has come with the Sixers, I mean, all the Ben Simmons drama, the management stuff, right? It's such a big cloud that was hanging over that organization. And for Embiid to just play his game and be so dominant despite all of that and have his team, near the top of the East all season long. And the crazy part is, with how great he's been playing, James Harden's coming back next week. James Harden's going to join this team next week. And Man, how good is that going to be, man, for Embiid? I think that, you know, hopefully the Harden fit works well. Even with that, man, you cannot deny being the #1 scorer in the league as a big man. I can't even look at the box score for his last 2 games because he's had numerous 40-point games with like 15 plus rebounds and shooting super efficiently. He's unstoppable. And come playoff time, it's going to be fun to watch, man. He's such a force on this team. And man, there are no words. There really are no words for how amazing Joel Embiid has been this year. I think he has to win the MVP unless some massive change happens, right? Embiid's the MVP, no question. So I think that, you know, you can make a case for a lot of guys. And again, it's all fluid, but you have to give it to Embiid, man. He deserves it, right? And especially with the team playing as well as they have, man. You have to do it. That's it, man. This video went long, but I covered all the awards. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. Of course, everyone's going to have their own opinion, so feel free to let me know what you think about it. And if you haven't already, please be sure to hit that subscribe button for more NBA content like this. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for your support. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.